Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new term here at WASA Distance Education Center. My name is Kobe Flatt, and it is great to be back on the air with you today. I am teaching a brand new GPP3O course. We are going to be going through leadership and peer support every Monday to Thursday from 11 until 12. For those of you who have been with us since the beginning of the school year, we are halfway through our school year today. It is officially the halfway mark. We have 2 terms left. This term will be running from today, February 3rd. If I can get my screen to change, here we are, until April 11th. So for those of you who are new, you can participate live with us via radio. If you would like to or can only listen in, feel free to tune in to 91.9 FM. If you want to see the slides that I've got here in front of me as we go, you can view it on Bell Express View channel 972 or join our Zoom link. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us here at WASA or your DEC to get the Zoom link for that. Feel free to call in to our WASA studio at 1-800-465-7144, or you can call local 807-737-4017 with any questions you might have as we go through the material. For those of you who are new, I just want to point out the benefits of joining our radio Zoom class. The radio Zoom portion follows a schedule. I've mentioned that we are on term 2A. We have 4 terms per year. Each of the terms runs for 9 weeks. As we go through these 9 weeks of classes, we will explain course concepts in more details to what you have in your independent learning course booklets. We go through all 20 lessons, including examples together. All of these classes are recorded. So if you do wish to join in via Zoom, just be mindful that the screen is being recorded, so any chats that you might want to put in there, everybody will see. If you want to turn your camera on, everybody will see. But again, you don't have to turn your camera on and you can still watch and participate. If this course time is not ideal for you, completely understandable. You're busy people with busy lives, so we do record them and post them to Google Classroom afterwards. These classes are also available on our newly developed WASA YouTube channel. Anyone can listen in and participate live to these classes. Now, that's not to downplay what our IL courses offer. If you can't tune in and it's not ideal for you to be or feel pressured to complete this course in 9 weeks, the IL course is another fantastic option as there are no deadlines. You get to just work at your own pace. It's self-directed work. You read the course material. You're essentially teaching yourself as you go through it and answer key questions at the end. I do want to note that the course material, the evaluations, the resources are all the same, regardless as to whether you're following along with us on our scheduled radio Zoom or completing it yourself on IL course. If you're doing the IL at your own pace, I am still available for help if you need it. You are not alone. So here we see that the radio Zoom schedule has our February 3rd to April 11th term. Every Monday to Thursday, I will be teaching the GPP3O. This is our leadership and peer support class from 11 a.m. until 12 noon. Fridays, we have no classes scheduled. It gives you a chance to sit, work on key questions, get any material assignments that you need to complete done at the end of your week. So we are starting week 1, day 1, and I'm going to take a few days this week just to go over and review for those of you who are new how it is that our terms work, how it is that our course material works. As you are going through this GPP3O course specifically, you will see that there are both key questions and support questions. Now, the key questions are the important ones. The key questions are for grades, so you must submit all completed key questions. Remember to show all of your work for full marks, and part of that means taking a look at how much the question is worth. If a question is worth 4 marks, try to provide 4 details or pieces of evidence to get you those full marks. If it asks your opinion and it's worth 4 marks, don't just say, yes, I agree. That's only one thing. You want to expand on it in order to get those full marks. As you go through the course, you will see support questions. The support questions are simply for practice. They are not for marks, so you do not need to submit them. These questions are if you want extra support or help with a concept. I will say that support questions just help to get you thinking in order to better prepare for the key questions. Unlike the support questions in our math classes, when you're going through support questions, you can see if you're on the right track. You can help reinforce the learning, go to the back of the book to see what the answers are. It's not quite structured the same for this course. As you'll see, this course is essentially all about you. It is about your skills and your feelings. So there are no answers for the support questions. It's just to get you thinking, and we'll get more into what to expect in this course. I want to state that when you are submitting your key questions, there are various ways to do so. First, you can scan your completed work. If you have an Apple device, you can use the Notes app, where you can open up the app, click on the scanned documents. It's easier than taking a picture because it compresses the file and makes it smaller to send. If you have an Android device, you can do the same thing in Google Drive. If you don't have either of those, you can take a picture and send it to me via email or on Facebook. Truly, whatever is easiest for you. We want to give you options to help you be successful. If you are emailing it, I do ask that you send your work to studentwork@nnec.on.ca. You can email myself a copy by CCing me, Jacoba, Jacoba, .flatt, FLATT, @nnec.on.ca. If you're in community and you have a learning center, feel free to bring your work to your DEC who can send it in for you. Or if you're local, you can swing on by and drop off completed work to our outdoor mailbox. Lots of ways for you to send work in. Another way to submit work is by going onto our Google Classroom. We're going to walk through this, get into this today. I'm going to give you this brief overview right now and then show you what it looks like. First, what you need to do is you must log in with your NNEC Schools account. Even if you have a personal Google email, if you have a Gmail account, you won't be granted access to Google Classroom without an educational account. When you register with WASA, everybody is given an NEC account. So if you don't know your account, please reach out to any one of us here and we can get that for you. Once you're logged in, you're going to click on the widget to find Google Classroom. From there, you open Google Classroom and you will be presented with a list of all of your classes. The first time you log in, you're going to be asked to enter our class code. If you don't see our class listed, our class code can be given to you by either myself or your DEC. You can reach out to us here for that. If you have an invitation, if I've already invited you to the class, then you might see our class show up, and all you have to do is click the join button. I'm going to walk you through now how it is to find your Google Classroom. You want to go to Google. Make sure that you are logged into your NNEC account. So up in the top right corner, you're going to see a profile picture, maybe it's just your initial, and it will tell you what email you are logged in as. As you can see here, I'm logged into my nnecschools.org account, and that's what each one of you get. Beside your profile picture are the Google apps. It's that widget that kind of looks like a bingo card. You click on that and you can see Google Classroom listed. If you don't see it, you can always scroll down to more, or you can type directly into Google Classroom login, and it will bring you to Google Classroom. Once you're in, all of your classes will be listed here. You can see I've got the MAP4C that I teach, the co-op that I teach, the MEL3E that I teach, the MBF3C, and our GPP3O. If you've not logged in yet, you'll see a join button. If it's completely blank and you have no classes, that's when you're going to go to the top where there's a big plus sign, and you'll click join a class. That's when you would then type in our class code to be connected. Once you are in our Google Classroom, you'll see the stream. The stream is that first welcome to, and has information about classes. If class times need to change for whatever reason, it will be posted here. This is where you'll see the announcements. The next tab at the top is classwork. This is where all of our classwork is listed. Our course consists of 4 units of 5 lessons each. This course is 20 lessons total with a culminating activity at the end. All of the textbooks are here. You can click on the textbook and pull up the PDF. It goes through what the course is, our table of contents, and starts with lesson 1, giving you all the information that you're going to need in order to complete the key question. So the support questions are there just for practice. You don't have to do them, but the key questions are what must be submitted. You'll see that all key questions can be completed in your student workbook or on Google Classroom. So now that we have the textbook, we're going to go back and you will see the student workbooks. If you prefer pen and paper, that's fantastic. You can print out the student workbook that highlights just the key questions. You'll see there's nothing else here, there's no information, it's just the workbook to help keep you organized. Allows you to focus on just the key questions and not have to worry about if you missed something or completing those support questions. It just shows you here are the key questions that you'll have to do. Read through them carefully. Some key questions have options. You only need to complete one. You'll want to read it carefully. The very first lesson starts off with an option. You can do option A, or option B, or option C. You have 3 assignments that you can choose from, whatever one you are most comfortable with. Just do one of them. They are also posted here on our Google Classroom as a Google Doc that allows you to complete it here and submit it directly to me online. You don't have to worry about scanning it, taking a picture of it, bringing it to your learning center. You can do it all right here and get instantaneous feedback. Lots of ways to help you be successful, lots of ways for you to be accessing your work or submitting your work. If you prefer something tangible, something you can get your hands on and flip through pages, we are happy to send you the hard copy. But understand that you might be in community, you might want to get this started right away, you might not want to wait for it to come to you, you might get it and spill coffee on it and you were on a roll and you really want to get it going. So know that this Google Classroom option is here for you so that you can keep going. It might not be your most ideal way of getting it done, but at least you can be moving forward. Going back to our slide, I want to highlight all of the ways that you can contact me with any questions you might have. I'm available by email, phone, or Facebook. My email address again is Jacoba. That's my real name. People just call me Kobe because it's easier. But the email is Jacoba, Jacoba, .flatt, F-L-A-T-T, at nnec.on.ca. You can reach me at my desk at 807-738-1488, extension 2228. My office hours are Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m., but make that mental note that I will be on air away from my desk every Monday to Thursday from 11 a.m. until 12 noon. You can call our offices toll-free at 1-800-667-3703, and they can connect you to whatever teacher it is that you need. If you'd like to connect with me on Facebook, you can find me jflat wasa. So the first name would be jflat and the last name would be wasa. And again, all of our WASA classes are available on YouTube. Feel free to check us out there. WASA has a page on Facebook. There are lots of ways to get a hold of us. A lot of our learning centers and DCs and communities have their own Facebook page as well. That is our housekeeping out of the way, so to speak. I wanted to go through and show you now an overview of what it is that you are getting yourself into with this class. You'll notice in our Unit 1, we have the table of contents listed. Unit 1 is lessons 1 to 5, and it's all about sense of self. So today's lesson that we're going to get into here is about discovering you. Lesson 2 will be identifying skills and interests. Lesson 3 will be about multiple intelligences. Lesson 4 is my temperaments, and Lesson 5 is how to learn. We're going to jump into that material as we go throughout our 9-week course. Unit 2 looks at sense of others. We'll be looking at identifying barriers to effective learning, everyone's rights, working in groups, discovering your community, and healthy relationships. Leading us to Unit 3, where we will have the broad understanding of a sense of awareness. We will be breaking that down into personal management, stress management, conflict resolution, anger management, and peer mediation. The last unit then is a sense of belonging. We'll be looking at personal well-being, leadership in the digital age, effective communication, leadership, and leadership opportunities. Those are the 20 lessons that make up the coursework. The coursework is worth 70% of your overall grade. Then we have the culminating activity, which is the last 30% of your final grade. The culminating activity, much like some of our lessons throughout the course, has options. You get to pick what you want your culminating activity to be based on the 3 options that I have given to you. So it is a hopefully easy course in the sense that you will feel confident in the material and the assignments and choosing those which speak to you and help you to show your best side. Let's jump into what that looks like here today. Day 1, week 1, lesson 1. Lesson 1 is discovering you. It's important to note that understanding yourself is key to understanding others. Our learning goals for today's class are that we will be able to better understand our identity. You should be able to say that I can define and explain attitude, behavior, and values. Lastly, we're going to differentiate between, as well as create, short term and long term goals. We'll know we are successful because at the end we'll be able to say, I can create a personal profile reflecting on what makes me who I am by putting all of the learning from lesson 1 together. So let's jump in. Who am I? Identity is what you think. It's what you know and what you believe about yourself. If you have your IL booklet in front of you, we are starting in Unit 1, looking at page 4. Our identity is influenced by both internal factors as well as external factors. The internal factors are our own reactions. They are our perceptions, our attitudes, our values, and our beliefs. We're going to really dive into these internal factors here in Lesson 1 today. But it's important to note that there are external factors as well. Those are the outside forces, such as society, family, friends, culture, and we'll be exploring all of these throughout this entire course as we go over the next 9 weeks. So how would you introduce yourself to someone new? What information would you include? If I were to say, good morning, my name is Kobe Flatt. I am a teacher here at Wausau Distance Education Center. I have been teaching for the last 14 years, oh my goodness, and I'm fairly new to Wausau. I've been here for 1 year and I've been teaching math courses, co-op, and just created this brand new GPP3O just for you. I am a wife and mother of 2. I originally came from Southern Ontario, moved to Northwestern Ontario in order to teach, fell in love with the North, and I've been here ever since. When you think about who you are and how you would introduce yourself to someone new, it might depend on those external factors. It might depend on who it is that I'm introducing myself to. If I'm trying to introduce myself to a potential new employer, I'm going to talk about all of my experiences. If I'm introducing myself to a new family member, is it a new niece or nephew? Or is it a sibling significant other? Is it a friend? Is it, depending on who you're introducing yourself to, might affect what parts of yourself that you include. When we want to think about who it is that we are and what it is that makes us who we are, we're talking about identity. Knowing yourself helps to provide focus. When you know who you are, you can better focus on getting out of life what it is that you want. Along those lines, knowing yourself can help give you purpose. It can give you direction. Like focus, it can put you on a path to get you where you want to be. Knowing yourself can lead to personal growth as well as professional growth. If we know what we like, we know who we are, we know what we enjoy, we know what we're good at, we can better be put on a path that helps us to be successful. Knowing ourselves can help us gain personal fulfillment. If we have that purpose, if we have that direction, then we will feel more fulfilled in doing the things that make us happy, give us a sense of worth. When we better know ourselves, we can help to really focus in and hone our skills. We have an increased sense of confidence. If we know ourselves and we know what we like and we know what we're good at, then we're going to put ourselves on a path where we can utilize the things that we know, the things that we're good at. In doing so, we are successful, and that builds our confidence. When we are confident in who we are and what we're doing, it can really lead to improved relationships because we are strong in who we are and not having to worry about changing to be with those that we're around, which can really affect the relationships that we have if we're wish-washing between one person to another. So, improving relationships can come from having a sense of knowing who you are. Identity really plays into, it shapes, as well as affected by our attitude, our behavior, and our values. We're going to first look at attitude. On page 5 of the IL booklet, we're looking at the attitude that we have, not only about ourselves, but again, knowing what our attitude is towards ourselves can then reflect and impact those around us. So the first thing when we think of attitude is naming 3 words that come to mind when you think about you. These are called mirror words. They describe the foundation of how you view yourselves. Once you have that better understanding of how you view yourself, you can see how it flows and impacts how you view others. Personality and attitude dictate how you respond to conflict. If you are an agitated, suspicious, skeptic person, then you might find yourself in more situations of conflict because of how you perceive situations around you. Personality and attitude dictate how you respond to crisis, how you respond to other personal situations as well as other professional situations. By getting to know who you are and how you respond to things, hopefully you will be better equipped when situations such as conflict or crisis arise. Breaking down attitude, we want to really be able to define what is it. It is a psychological construct that represents a person's feelings, beliefs, and behavioral tendencies toward a particular object, person, situation, or idea. It is shaped by experiences, social influences, as well as individual values. Now, attitude can be either positive, negative, or neutral. Attitude influences how individuals perceive and respond to the world around them. They can affect our decisions, interactions, and overall behavior. So keep in mind that attitude plays a significant role in your decision making, your interactions with others, as well as your overall behavior. Attitude is often categorized into 3 components. There's the cognitive, that's in your head, so to speak. It's the beliefs and thoughts. It can also be affective. Think of from the heart. It's emotions and feelings. Behavioral is more the body. It's the actions or intentions. We're going to further expand on behavior. And it's important to note that behavior is a reflection of personality. Remember, it's the body, it's the actions or intentions. So it refers to the actions as well as reactions or responses of an individual. Now, behavior can include verbal communication, can include physical movements, social interactions, decision making, and emotional expression. It's influenced by a combination of factors. These factors could be genetics, environment, culture, attitudes, beliefs, and experiences. They may be conscious or unconscious, voluntary or involuntary, and reflects how individuals navigate and respond to their surroundings. So again, It's sometimes we know that we're doing it. Sometimes it's a conscious effort, but sometimes it's an unconscious or involuntary response. We talked about how it's those actions as well as reactions. It's that response too. There are two types of behaviors: positive behaviors and negative behaviors. Examples of positive behavior could include, in our book, we have caring. We have another positive example of behavior is considerate and organized. Other examples might include showing kindness, empathy, generosity, anything that expresses positively can be considered positive behavior. Now, negative behavior can present as rude, unfocused, even come across as lazy. Other examples, it could come across as incompetent or ignorant. When we have these actions or reactions, they are often labeled as positive or negative and can come across in multiple ways. Vision. Vision is the next part of our identity that we're going to be looking at because it helps to provide that focus and that direction that we were talking about. When we think vision, we often think of vision statements that a lot of organizations have created and posted for us to see and find. A vision statement is simply a statement that outlines long-term goals and a desired future. In our book, it goes to show that it serves as a guiding light defining what the organization aims to achieve and inspires stakeholders, employees, and customers by providing a clear sense of purpose. A vision statement focuses on the impact the organization wants to make and the values it upholds, helping to align decision-making and strategic planning with its ultimate objectives. So if you were to go to our NNEC website, the Northern Anishinaabe Education Council, we have their homepage, and if you click over on the side, you can see more tabs, more options, and we have listed here right underneath the About and History, the mission and vision of NNEC. It states clearly, our vision focuses on healthy, sustainable communities. We foresee a future where the results of our efforts create a positive influence in the lives of children and their parents. This vision sees a world in which First Nations people succeed without the loss of their identity and have the courage to change their world according to their values. Going back to their vision statement and our definition of what it is, it has a clear aspirational declaration, what they are aspiring to do. Their vision, they are aspiring on healthy, sustainable communities. It outlines the goals as well as serving as a guiding light to define what they want to achieve. We foresee a future where the results of our efforts create a positive influence in the lives of children and their parents. So the goal is to have a positive influence on the lives of children and their parents. The future aspirations are to see a world in which First Nations people succeed without the loss of their identity. And that's exactly what we're focusing on in this course, in this first unit. We want to know what that is and build on it so that it cannot be lost. We want to have the courage to change the world according to their values. Much like an organization's vision statement, you can create a personal vision statement, a statement that outlines your personal aspirations, values, and long-term goals. A personal vision statement is essentially the framework for your personal growth, the kind of person that you want to become, and the impact you aim to have. So we have the aspirations, we have the goals, and we have the future hope. So, what are your core beliefs? What are your personal passions? What are your hopes and dreams? Let your vision statement reflect your strengths, your passions, as well as your priorities. One of the options for your key question at the end of this lesson is to create a vision board. So it's important then that you understand what a vision board is. It's another way to identify and demonstrate your vision statement. Rather than writing it out in a paragraph and laying it out with words in sentence structure, formatting, you get to do so through images, words, quotes, and symbols. It's a visual representation of your goals, dreams, aspirations. We just talked about your core beliefs, your personal passions, your hopes and dreams. We talked about your strengths, your passions, and your priorities. This is your opportunity to put them all down in a visual collection. It should reflect what you want to achieve in various areas of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your personal growth. It needs to serve as a source of inspiration and motivation. We're going to get into goal setting here, where we'll find out that by putting something down on writing, it helps you to stay focused and gives you more chances of success because you have that direction. So although a vision board isn't necessarily a written statement, it is put down. It's out there for you to see and focus on, and it does the same thing. It helps you to connect what it is that you want by clarifying your goals, maintaining your focus, and reinforcing positive thinking. Because it's going to be one of the key questions, I want to show you quickly just a few options that are available that aren't hard and can be used by you with your school account. The easiest ones are the G Suite apps, which you have with your nnec.schools.org account. The other one that you have access to is Canva. First, we'll go to the Google Suites. Just like getting into your Google Apps, you want to go into the where you can get to Google Classroom by finding your Google Drive. In Google Drive, you can click on the left-hand side where it says New, scroll down to either Slides if you want to try Slides, or More, where we have Google Drawings. Google Drawings is essentially an empty canvas for you to start building. If you have access to the internet, this is a great place to start. We can say that this is our vision board for 2025. And you can play around with making it colorful and suit you, and you can add different shapes. You can add insert image. You can upload images from the computer if you have pictures of your family or your friends or your workplace or whatever it is that is part of your vision, you can include it there. If you're not sure, you can search the web. You can search for images such as Italy if you want to travel. You can have pictures that you insert, and it's a lot like making a collage. It's a lot like making a poster. You're going to insert different words, different quotes, different texts, different pictures. And we can say travel. We can change how it looks. We can change the color. We can play around with some of the graphic design that helps to make it more prominent and fun. So Google Drawings is something that you have and you can play around with, you can work with on inserting different quotes, texts, pictures. The other one is Canva. If you Google Canva, you'll see that you can start designing right away. If you want access to more, you can sign up for it. As an NEC student, you have access to Canva where you get a lot more than just the free subscription that everyone has access to. By using your student account, you can have access to a lot of the educational clips and images and templates that not everybody does. Canva is wonderful because you can type in vision board and it will bring up examples for you. There are 10,000 templates for vision boards, and you can use one of them to start building off of, or you can just browse them for brainstorming ideas. You can think of what is it that you want to include, how is it you can look. By clicking on one, you can customize it and you can change pictures. You can simply put in your own pictures and your own words and your own quotes, and most of it's done for you. It's an easy way. By clicking on it, you might want to play around with it for a bit. I can type in financial stability and it comes up with pictures for me, and I can just enter a new picture and I can put it whichever one I want it on. So feel free to play around with different design apps or the G Suite apps so that you can be successful in that key question if that's the one you choose. For the sake of time, we're going to go through the rest of this lesson where we go into goal setting. Goal setting really helps to keep you focused. It helps with that increased sense of self, your motivation, your self-confidence. It helps you to overcome procrastination, fear, and failure. Again, if it's written down, it helps you to stick with it and not be distracted. Or often we have other things that come up, and it's not to say that they're not important, but it really helps to bring you back by having that focus. We're going to look at short-term goals and long-term goals, how putting it in writing helps you to be more successful, and we're going to look at how to create our own SMART goals. So short-term goals are immediate objectives that can be achieved within 1 year. The focus is that they're smaller, there are actionable steps that eventually lead to larger goals. They're the building blocks for the long-term goals. Examples of a short-term goal could include completing a project, learning a new skill, or exercising daily. The long-term goals then are life accomplishments that can be achieved within 5 to 10 years. They're broader, they're more ambitious, and they do require a more sustained effort. Examples of a long-term goal would be earning a degree, building a successful career, achieving financial independence. If you can achieve financial independence in 6 months, that's amazing. But again, we don't want to put pressure on ourselves, and so we give ourselves those long term goals. And we're going to look at how we set ourselves up for success. One method to goal setting is called or referred to as SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. And this is what I was talking about. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. You don't want to put unnecessary pressure on yourself. So we want to look at creating SMART goals. Specific. They should be clear goals. When you have a clear goal, you are more likely to get clear results. They should be measurable. How will you know you've achieved the goal? You need to be able to have that end result. You need to know how you can measure it so that you can say whether or not you've achieved it. You want it to be achievable then. It needs to be challenging yet attainable. Attainable is the key. Achievable is key. You don't want it to be out of reach. You don't want it to be something unrealistic. You want to be successful. In order to help yourself be successful, think, is it relevant? If it's not important to you, then you are most likely not going to focus on it and attain it. If it's somebody else's idea of success or a goal for you, then it will take longer and be harder to achieve. Lastly, we need to consider that it is time-based. You need to set a specific time frame. If it's too long down the road, then let's be honest, we often procrastinate and put it off and say, oh, we'll get to it eventually, and then you run out of time. So you need to set those deadlines for yourselves. We have 4 minutes, so I won't write this out as I had hoped, but just to show you, if we have our goal of I want to graduate and receive my Ontario Secondary School Diploma by June 2025, we need to think, is it specific? Do you have a clear goal? So specific, yes, we want the diploma. So we have our S. Is it measurable? How will we know we've achieved it? We have that piece of paper rolled up in our hands, handed it to us by the principal. Is it achievable? So it could be challenging. You might have a lot going on. You might be working full time. You might be a parent, but it is achievable because it is realistic. Getting your diploma in 5 months is challenging, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. Is it relevant? Again, is this a goal that you want for yourself or that somebody else is telling you you need to have? Think about that. Is it time-based? Yes, we are giving ourselves until June 2025 to get the diploma. That is a very specific time frame. It's realistic, it's measurable, it gives us enough time to reach the goal. We want to move along to values. Our values can be beliefs and principles that guide your decisions, your behaviors, your perceptions. Your values will serve as a moral compass. They help to shape your priorities. They affect your influences, your interactions. They influence your interactions with others. They affect your responses to situations. So your achievements, your family, money, security. When we think about values, we think about what it is that's important to us, what it is that makes us us. An individual's personality is affected by their values that in turn shape your attitudes, your behaviors, the way a person relates to the world. We talked about that, family and the colleagues around us. Values influence how individuals define their identity, set goals, and make choices. Similarly, values determine how individuals handle conflicts, pursue success, and build relationships, thus playing a key role in molding your unique personality traits and overall character. So it all comes back full circle. to our identity being our attitude, our behavior, our values. Our goals can be affected by our values and can help us to create and set what it is that we want to get out of life. Our identity is what you think, know, and believe about yourself. It is shaped by and affected by attitude, behavior, goals, and values, which sums up our lesson 1, discovering you. You can take a look at the support questions where it's starting to get you to think about what it is that you want to get out of this course, what it is that you want to get out of the next 9 weeks. You're setting yourself up with these goals and the attitude, your perception. What are benefits to taking this course? Secondly, write a vision statement that serves as a roadmap, helping to align actions and decisions with goals and personal purpose. You don't have to do these support questions, but you will get out of this course what you put into it. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me. We will go into lesson 2 tomorrow, so have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow.